If you're watching this right now, you've probably got rats. And if you've got rats, you've got a problem that's costing you money every single day. Chewed grain, damaged wiring, contaminated feed. But here's what nobody's telling you. The pest control industry doesn't want this problem solved. They want you on a monthly contract forever. My name's Elias, I'm Amish. I farm in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. And my grandfather taught me how to clear out a barn full of rats for about $2. No poison, no monthly bill, no man in a truck. Just this bucket and a system that's worked for 100 years. Now, before I show you the trap, if you're serious about building real food independence, growing your own food year-round, preserving your harvest, and never relying on the grocery store again, my team at Grow Your Ground put together the complete blueprint. It's the same system homesteaders use to produce food in every season, no matter where you live. Links in the description. Grab it now and let's get these rats handled. Let me tell you something about rats that changes everything. If you see one rat in daylight, you don't have one rat. You have a dozen you never see, behind your walls, under your floor, up in the loft, down in the dark where they live. The one that ran across your floor, that's the bold one, the hungry one, the one crowded out of the nest. And that nest is growing faster than you think. A pair of rats with food and shelter can become hundreds before the year is out. A rat's teeth never stop growing, so it never stops gnawing. Wood, wire, lead pipe, things you wouldn't believe an animal could bite through. They foul 10 times as much food as they eat with droppings and dirt, and they carry sickness. This is not a problem you sit on. Most folks do one of two things. They buy a snap trap or they buy poison. Here's why both fail. The snap trap catches one rat, then it's done until you reset it. If you've got a real infestation, you'd need 50 of them, and you'd tend them all day. But rats are smart. They're suspicious. They don't trust anything new. You put a strange metal contraption in their path. They'll walk around it for days. The fancy word is neophobia, fear of new things. A rat has it bad. So your one snap trap sits there untouched while the rats laugh at it and keep breeding. Poison is worse, and I'll be plain about why I don't use it. Beyond that, I'm Amish. Poison is slow. The rat eats it, wanders off, and dies somewhere you can't reach. Inside your wall, under your floor, up in the insulation. Then you've got a dead rat rotting for 2 weeks, stinking up your house, drawing flies. Worse, poison doesn't stay where you put it. A rat carries chunks off. A barn cat, a dog, an owl, a hawk eats that poisoned rat. I keep cats on purpose. The last thing I want is to poison the very animals doing my rat killing for me. Poison stays off my farm, and it should stay off yours. So what did we use before there was a poison aisle and a man in a truck with a spray rig? We used the simplest thing in the world. We used a bucket, 5-gallon bucket, the kind you mix paint in or carry feed in. Any bucket about that size will do. Across the top, you lay a bar that spins. Oldest way, take a tin can, soda can, small metal cylinder. Run a stiff wire straight through the middle, end to end, like an axle. Lay that rod across the rim so the can hangs in the middle and spins freely. Smear a little peanut butter right in the center. Then lean a board against the side like a ramp. That's the whole trap. Bucket, spinning can on a wire, dab of peanut butter, board for a ramp. Here's how it works, and it's beautiful. The rat smells the peanut butter, and a rat can smell peanut butter from clear across a barn. He climbs the ramp, gets to the rim, sees the bait sitting there in the middle of that can, steps out onto it to reach it. The moment he puts weight on it, the can spins and the rat drops straight down into the bucket. The can spins right back to where it started, ready for the next one. The rat can't climb back out. Walls are too tall, too smooth, nothing to grip. And here's what makes it better than any snap trap. It resets itself every time. One bucket can catch a dozen rats in a single night. You're not running around resetting 50 traps. You set one bucket and let it work all night while you sleep. Now you have a choice, and I want to be honest about it. You can run it wet or you can run it dry. Put a few inches of water in the bottom. The rat that falls in drowns. You have a bucket of dead rats in the morning to bury or burn. That's how many old farmers did it. Effective. Nothing to tend. But if it troubles you to drown an animal, and it troubles some folks, I understand that, run it dry. Leave the water out. Rats fall in, can't climb out. In the morning, you have a bucket of live rats. Carry them well away from your place. A mile or more, or they'll come right back. Let them go. Takes more work. You have to check every morning so they don't suffer. But it's the gentler way, and it works just the same for the catching. I'll tell you what I do. Barn full of rats eating my grain, fouling my feed, breeding faster than I can keep up. I run it wet. Because a rat infestation is a real danger to a farm, and it has to end quickly. For 1 or 2 mice wandered into the house in fall, I run it dry and carry them to the back field. You decide what sits right with you. Either way, the trap is the same. Now, the trap is the part everybody wants to see. But I have to tell you the truth my grandfather told me. The trap does not solve your rat problem. The trap cleans up the rats you already have. If you don't do the other half, you'll be emptying that bucket forever. Because new rats will keep coming as fast as you catch the old ones. The real work, the work that actually ends a rat problem, is taking away the 2 things a rat cannot live without: food and water. A rat can squeeze through a hole the size of a quarter, climb a brick wall, swim up a drain. You can't keep them out by force. But you can make your place somewhere there's nothing to eat and nothing to drink. And a rat will not stay where it cannot feed. Every bit of grain, every sack of feed, every bag of flour, cornmeal, chicken scratch goes into metal, not plastic. A rat chews through plastic like it's bread. Metal cans with tight lids. Metal bins. My granary is lined so there's not a gap a rat can work open. Chicken feed goes in a metal can with a lid that latches. You don't leave feed out overnight. Feed the chickens what they'll eat. What they don't, you put away. Dog's dish comes in at night. Spilled grain gets swept up, not left on the floor. A rat lives on what you waste. Stop wasting it where he can reach, and you've cut his living off. And water. A rat needs to drink, and he needs it often. Fix the dripping spigot. Fix the leak under the trough. Don't leave standing water sitting out. Take away his drink, and you've shortened his life and driven him to look elsewhere. Then you close what you can. Walk your barn, your foundation, your shed in daylight, and look for the holes. You'll find them because rats leave a mark. A dark, greasy smudge around the holes they use. Oil from their fur rubbing the same spot day after day. Old people called them rub marks. Where you see a rub mark, you found a rat highway. Stuff those holes with steel wool packed tight. Cover them with hardware cloth. Patch them with metal. A rat will chew through wood and foam and plastic, but he cannot chew through steel. Take away the food, take away the water, close the holes. Run your bucket to clean out the ones already there. That's the whole system. That's how a farm stays clear of rats without a drop of poison. I want to tell you about the other thing my grandfather kept. The oldest rat control there is, alive and purring, a cat. Not a pampered house cat, a working barn cat. My grandfather always kept 2 or 3 good mouses in the barn. And so do I. A barn cat doesn't need to catch every rat to earn his keep. The truth is, the smell of a cat alone will send rats looking for somewhere else to live. A rat is no fool. He knows a cat patrols that ground, and he moves his nest off your property to somewhere safer. A good cat is worth more than any trap and any poison. He works every night for the price of a little food and a dry place to sleep. I'll be honest, a cat alone won't clear out a heavy infestation fast. When rats have already taken over, you need the bucket and the sealing and the cleaning all at once to break the back of it quickly. But once you've driven them down, a cat or 2 is what keeps them gone year after year with no work from you at all. The owls that nest in my barn do the same job from the air. Providence gave us the rat catchers already made. We just have to keep them around and let them do what they were made to do. My grandfather used to say, a farm without a cat is just a rat farm that hasn't been noticed yet. He wasn't wrong. Now, while you're setting up your bucket trap and sealing your grain, I want you thinking bigger. Because rats aren't the only thing trying to eat your food supply. Grocery stores are. Every year, prices climb higher, quality drops lower. And that supply chain? It's one bad season away from serious trouble. At Grow Your Ground, we teach families how to break free from all of it. Year-round food production, succession planting so you never run out, canning, fermenting, drying and freezing so your harvest lasts through winter, seed saving so your garden becomes self-sustaining, the whole system. The complete blueprint is at the link in the description. It's everything I wish my grandfather had written down, and everything modern homesteaders are using right now to feed their families without the grocery store. Grab it, and let's keep building your independence together. I want to take a moment because this is the part that matters, and it's the part the man in the truck will never tell you. Think about who profits when you have rats. The pest control company profits, and they profit most when the problem never quite ends. You call them. They come. They put out poison in a locked box and set you up on a contract. Every month, every quarter, a man comes and refills the poison and sends you a bill. Now think hard about that arrangement. If the poison truly ended your rat problem for good, you wouldn't need the monthly visit. The whole business is built on the rats coming back. The poison kills the ones that ate it, but it does nothing about the hole in your foundation. The open feed sack, the dripping spigot, the things that brought the rats in the first place. So the rats come back, the bill comes back, and you pay it month after month, year after year. That's not an accident. That's the design. The poison companies profit the same way. A box of single-feed bait isn't cheap. You go through it, you buy more, and the rats keep coming because you never fixed the reason they came. You're buying a cure for the symptom and never touching the cause. And there's good money in selling you that cure forever. And here's the deeper thing. A rat problem is not really a rat problem. It's a food problem, a building problem. Open grain and standing water and a hole nobody patched. The industry sells you a chemical answer to what's really a housekeeping answer because there's no money in housekeeping. Nobody can sell you a monthly contract to sweep up your spilled feed and seal your foundation and keep a cat. We never paid for rat control because we never needed to. We sealed the grain, we fixed the leaks, we patched the holes, we kept the cats. And when the rats got ahead of us anyway, we set a bucket and let it work for free. $2 and a little attention against a bill that never ends. That's the choice, once you see it clearly. So here's what I want you to do this week. Tonight, after dark, go quietly into your barn or your basement and just listen. You'll hear them moving. In the morning, take a flashlight and look for the rub marks. Those dark, greasy smudges around the holes. That tells you where they travel. Then set your bucket. 5-gallon bucket. Tin can on a wire across the top, spinning free. Dab of peanut butter in the middle. Board for a ramp. Wet if you have the stomach for it. Dry if you'd rather carry them off. Set it right on the path where you saw the rub marks. Set 2 or 3 buckets if it's a bad infestation. Let them work all night. While the buckets do their work, do the real work. Put every bit of feed and grain into metal with a tight lid. Sweep up the spills. Fix the leaks and pour out the standing water. Pack steel wool into every hole you found. And if you don't have a cat, go find yourself a good barn cat from a farm or a shelter. There are more than enough that need a home and a job. Do all of it together. The bucket without the ceiling just empties forever. The ceiling without the bucket leaves you with the rats you already have. Together, they end it. This week. For the price of a bucket. No poison. No monthly bill. Now I want to hear from you. Go look for those rub marks and tell me in the comments what you found. How old is your place? Is it a house, a barn, or a coop? I read every single one of these, and I've heard stories from you all that would curl your hair. Next time, I'm going to show you the way my grandfather kept moles and voles out of the kitchen garden. Without poison, without traps. One simple thing he planted along the edge of every bed that they would not cross. You won't believe it's that simple, but it is. And it's worked on this farm for 100 years. Subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss it. This is the kind of knowledge that disappears if we don't pass it on. Until then, seal your grain, keep a cat, patch your holes, and remember, the people who built this country with their hands knew things we are only just starting to remember. And if you're ready to take the next step, to grow your own food year-round, preserve your harvest, and build true independence from a system that doesn't have your best interests at heart, head to the link below. Grow your ground. The blueprint is waiting. Your food freedom starts with one seed, one jar, one decision. Make it today.